Hello, guys. Welcome to today's episode of Sporting and Out, and happy Easter. Would today's episode we'll be talking about the English Premier League. That's the EPL, the match, the post match, the next games, and also we'll be talking about some of our delicate topics of the day. So I want you to just give us. Well, first of all, what do you think about the English Premier League so far?
Like I used to say, the English Premier League, so far, every time is always the same. We know the positions of everybody. Some teams will not cease to, they won't, anything they do now is not going to be something like a surprise to their fans or something like
Yeah.
just like Manchester United losing is not news anymore. Manchester United has not won a league match in the last four games. They are winless in the last four games. They've lost three and drawn one. For other teams like Liverpool, we already know that they are the winners of the Premier League. And for the other positions, the only thing that is uncertain
And also,
is
not two of the relegated teams.
yes,
The next game will actually give us an insight on the third.
yes, not even an insight to relegate. They'll be relegated very very soon. We already know it's Ipswich that is the next to be relegated. There's no other team mathematically. So other teams are safe mathematically, and no one is going to say that Ipswich is going to win their remaining games. So for that being said, we already know how the league is going to be, and basically, let me just go straight to the instead of beating around the bush, let me go straight to the match result of the day. Brentford defeated um, Brighton, who had a red card. That game ended 4-2. West Ham held Southampton on a 1-1 draw.
Yeah.
Everton were defeated by Manchester City. That game ended 2-0. Crystal Palace, with a red card, were held Bournemouth on a 0-0 draw. Aston Villa humiliated Newcastle. That game ended 4-1. Ipswich were defeated by Arsenal. Uh, that game ended 4 goals to 0.
Yes.
Wolves, Hampton Wanderers, defeated Manchester United. That game ended 1-0. Chelsea did a comeback versus Fulham, and the game ended 2-1.
Yes.
And Leicester City were defeated by Liverpool. That game ended 1-0. The goal was scored by Trent Alexander-Arnold in a very, very late winner.
Yeah.
And we have another game tonight, which is the game between Tottenham versus Forest. So, what do you think about the games that were played?
Yeah, so the games that were played, the only disappointing game is that between that Manchester United
Versus
game
Wolves.
versus Wolves. I think Manchester United needs a striker because those strikers we have are not. I was actually discussing with a colleague, a football colleague, and he was actually saying that he was asking me that might that Barcelona women can actually defeat the current Manchester United men's player, and it's very ridiculous.
To be
Seeing
hearing such
seeing
banter.
seeing Manchester United being in that category of players where you have players that don't even play for the badge anymore, that don't even play with confidence, and I also saw somewhere that Manchester United fans are always happy on Thursdays, and on during the weekend we're always sad. I don't know why our players used to. We have Oiland, we have Garnacho, we have Zexi, and we can't get goals in the Premier League. It's ridiculous. What do you think about Manchester United's form this season?
Manchester United's form is just a season, one of those seasons is a season that we just want to just end. So probably by next season, if
Yeah.
we reboot, bring in new players, take out these old ones, maybe we see an improvement. Maybe bring in Yakares from Sporting and bring in some other players that can play for Ruben Amorim under his tactics. And I don't know if I can believe in Ruben Amorim's three man at the back this tactics again. I don't know. Maybe next season, if he shows us how he wants to play it, maybe I'll believe.
One other question is Liverpool. Do you think Trent and Alexander are not leaving by the end of the season? Do you think Liverpool will miss him, or because he was the one that scored the late winner yesterday, and he has also helped Liverpool actually win a lot of games this season. Do you think Trent Alexander-Arnold is one key player that, or will I say, the missing piece that Liverpool will miss next season?
I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is a very brilliant player, but I don't think he's going to be missed because there are other people that can fill up his shoes. It's just sad that Mo Salah has not really been performing these past few weeks in the Premier League, and also they've been eliminated from different cups titles. The only cup they are going to win this season is the Premier League. So that is how bad Liverpool has been, to be honest. Just the league, from a Liverpool side that we were thinking would claim a quadruple to a treble, then to double, then now they are going to be winning only a single. So I think maybe you should just give us the next match fixtures.
So the next match fixtures is on Tuesday, from Tuesday. That's tomorrow actually. From Tuesday, we have Manchester City hosting um, Aston Villa, and that game will be played 8 o'clock. And then Arsenal will be taking on Crystal Palace on Wednesday. Chelsea um, will be taking on Everton on Saturday. Wolves will be taking on Leicester City on Saturday. Newcastle will be taking on Ipswich on Saturday as well. Brighton will be taking on West Ham on Saturday. Southampton will be taking on Fulham on Saturday. Bournemouth will be taking on Manchester United on Sunday. Liverpool will be taking on Tottenham Hotspurs on Sunday. And the last game is Nottingham Forest versus Brentford. One game that stood out in this fixture is Liverpool versus Tottenham. What do you expect from that game?
For me, as a Manchester United fan, I will always expect Tottenham to lose every game.
Yeah.
For Liverpool, if you win that game, you win the league. Just expect Arsenal to just fumble in this particular tie, and you win. It's just like how we mentioned in the NPFL, it's a done deal. Yeah, but the is the time we don't know when they'll be crowned champions. That's when we don't know. But we actually expect that Liverpool is going to win the league.
Also, Manchester City rather, will be taking on Aston Villa, and this we call this game the road to top four, because Aston Villa are on top form. They want to get the top four slot, we will say the top five slot. That's the Champions League slot. While um, Man City as well wants to get that top four slot. What do you think about that game? That game, for me, that game is going to be full of goals. That game would have would be entertaining one, and just goals. Let me just leave it as goals.
Yes, the game is going to be full of entertainment, drama, some bits of goals. For me, Manchester City uh, are a side that they are not really on form this season, but they know how to dig out for goals. But Aston Villa as well are actually a side that are on form with the new players that they just brought in that have changed the game for them, and we can actually blame or praise their new change to the new players that they just got in.
Yeah, Mamush.
No, for Aston Villa, that's the Rashford, likes of Rashford and and the likes.
Asensio.
Yes, those are the players that we should give the kudos.
All right, all right, all right. So I think that's all for this match fixtures. Also one game that we need to look forward to is the game between Chelsea and Everton. Everton, we know Everton has actually taken a lot of draws, has actually given a lot of teams hard time this season, given their new coach. Okay, given the fact that they are playing.
They changed the coach
They,
mid-season, and
yes,
he has actually been playing. He has actually been doing a very good uh, thing work for them. They've been picking up points a lot from different sides that you never even expect.
yes,
They picked up points from Liverpool, and I think they've picked up points from so many games
yeah,
that you will not even expect that they will
yes,
pick points from. And I think David Moyes, his second time at Everton is actually a nice time for him. He has taken them off the relegation battle. They can never be relegated again this season.
yes.
And I believe Everton are a side that they always try to manage to escape relegation every season. So
I think this season's one was even better in a way that they are not escaping because they are sailing very well in the Premier League this season,
yes,
playing good football.
yes, but before David Moyes came in, they were they were in that conversation.
Yes.
They were very much in that conversation before he came in and started helping them to pick points. So we can actually say it was good for them to sack their former manager and pick up David Moyes and stick to his tactics.
So I think that will end our discussion today. And please don't forget to use our promo code Sport In
Sporting
and
and
Out
out,
SPORTINANDANDOUT
Sporting
In
and
and
out.
Out on one
Experts, yes, you can get up to 300%
100%
bonus
using
with
our
promo
promo
code.
code. And also please bet responsibly. This ad is
It's an above 18 ad.
ad.
If you are not up to 18, please don't bet.
Thank you guys for watching today's episode. Please like,
Share
share,
and
and subscribe.
subscribe.